Hey everybody, I thought I'd make a video for you today. It's been a while since I've made one. To tell you the truth, I don't know if you remember in my last video, I mentioned that while I was, or just as I started my attempted trip to Namibia, I lost my entire income. And that is what I've been doing 99% of the time up until now. I've been trying to recoup what I've lost. So unfortunately, time for the Land Cruiser and for anything else has been very little, so I haven't been doing much in that regard. But I thought today was um, appropriate to give you an update on what's happening, where the Elundu project is at the moment. As you can see in the background, that's my Land Cruiser. You will remember in the last video I showed you that I had partially removed some of the dashboard so that I could do some work on the dashboard, and in that video I said to you that I would maybe be removing the entire dashboard. Well, that's exactly what I've done, and turns out that that was a very good decision to make. I'm going to show you in a second what it looks like now. I haven't put anything back yet. I'm basically ready to put the dashboard back in now, but I'm sure you'll agree with me that it looks very neat and tidy, and I can now be sure that I can go to bed at night and not worry about my car possibly catching on fire because of that one burned wire that I found and followed back into the harness. Stand by, and I'm going to stop this video, and then I'm going to take you for a quick tour of the dashboard and what I've done there. Right, as you can see, the entire dashboard has been removed, but excuse the mess inside. As you can see, I've been doing a lot of work in here, but you won't find any wires hanging or just bundled up anywhere. Everything is now tidied up, except for those two little wires hanging down below the steering column. Those are my microphone for the phone connection, and also the switch for the spotlights. They will be mounted to the dash once the dashboard's back in. But apart from those two, there is not a single piece of wire hanging around anywhere that doesn't belong there. I showed you in a previous video the pile of wire that I removed from underneath the dashboard here that actually didn't belong there. Quite frankly, I don't know why it was ever there. Some of the wires I could fathom out what they were previously, but yeah, it is now neat and tidy. And as you can see, the steel tube that runs horizontally across the whole dashboard, I can't fathom out. In the factory, they put these things into the cars without putting a single lick of paint on them. So what I've done is, although the car is 29 years old, it had very little rust on it. Maybe a little bit of a surface rust, that's all. So what I did was I took some fine sandpaper and just cleaned it up lightly, and gave it, where I could get to it, a coat of black edge coat primer. As you can see there, it looks nice and neat now. It's clean, tidy. But I've cleaned out all the air ducts and everything else, and everything is now working. My concerns with that burned wire are now over. The burned wire actually didn't go too far into the harness. It only went as far as well, maybe a third of the way across the dashboard, until where the wire actually split up into two. And obviously the two wires after the split were enough to carry the load. I can see they'd been a little bit warm, but there was no melting taking place. So I only had to repair the wire up until the split, which wasn't too far. I'm going to take you around the car now. And with the magic of editing, here we are on the other side of the car. As you can see, I'm going to give you a bit of a close-up. This is where I opened the harness. I must just wrap that in a bit of plastic now before I strap it up again. But that is where I opened the harness to fix the connections or the burned wire. As you can see down here, everything is nice and neat now. Nothing hanging around, nothing untidy. All of these wires here, as you can see, all of these go into, this is the part of the dash light, the cubbyhole light, and this is something else that plugs into the dash that's still got to come. But there is nothing now that is hanging around loose or spare or just taped up and hope for the best kind of thing. So everything is now neat and tidy and ready to be closed up. That is basically it for the moment. I thought I'd just give you a quick update on where we are. As you can see, the harness is now neat and tidy. I've replaced some of the tape with cable ties, because tape, when it gets old, gets all sticky and becomes an absolute mess. So that is the dashboard for now. As you can see in the back seat here, take you around quickly. I have all the parts lying here, parts of the dashboard, the steering wheel. And in here I have all the rest of the dashboard parts. Everything has been cleaned and is now ready to be put back into the car. So yeah, in the next video I am going to be doing a few reviews on some of the products that I used on my trip. Although I didn't get to Namibia, my trip was still 11 days long, and I managed to rack up some experience with a few of the items that I had in the car. As you can see there, one of them is the CTEC DC to DC charger that I put on a temporary board. That is not the inverter that I used for the trip. The inverter, if you remember correctly, I borrowed an inverter for the trip. This is a little inverter that I've bought in the meantime. It's a very low-powered one. I'm probably going to get another one. This is not a pure sine wave inverter, but it does work. And I will do a full review on this 12-volt system that I had. I'm also going to do a review on the fridge that I used, my Snowmaster fridge, new Snowmaster fridge, as well as my idea of what I used instead of a drawer system, because as you know I don't have a drawer system in the car yet. I will be building that in the near future, but there are priorities in the meantime. But I'm going to review the things I used on the trip, and that should be quite interesting. I've got no complaints so far, but I will do a review later. That is basically everything I have for you at the moment. Any progress I've made. As I said, I've been extremely busy trying to put an income together. As you know, I'm into cryptocurrency, and that is my only income at the moment. So I've been doing some trading. Ethereum is doing extremely well at the moment, better than Bitcoin. And but Bitcoin is about to break out as well. So, but I still think Ethereum, for now, or at least the next month, is going to outperform Bitcoin. So that's one of the main focuses. The other smaller altcoins are also doing extremely well. Some of them are just crazy. They are risky investments, but they can be traded quite successfully if you watch them all the time. And that's why I've been so busy doing it. I sit and watch them all the time because I'm trying to maximize profits. But anyway, that's me for today. As you can see, I've managed to get myself a nice Land Cruiser cap. I want to catch you in the next video, and remember, don't buy it, build it yourself.